And this is where you see the scale of the silence, because nobody wanted to talk about what it means for a state actor to quietly intervene in a supply chain that supports another state's war machine. Israel's dependence on imported crude from Azerbaijan isn't a niche fact. It's one of the pillars of its economic resilience during conflict. You cut or pressure that supply, even symbolically, and you create uncertainty in markets that ordinarily assume Israel's energy imports are untouchable. Iran didn't need to hit the pipeline. They didn't need to strike the infrastructure. They just needed to take one vessel with the right ownership structure at the right time and let the consequences register in the quiet places where the insurers, where the logistics operators and the state planners do their work. You can see the logic clearly once you start to walk through it, can't you? Iran's adversaries rely on the Strait of Hormuz being stable. They rely on cargo moving predictably. They rely on well-worn corporate structures that don't draw attention, and so they don't want to draw attention to this either. Iran turned one of those assumptions inside out. They took a ship linked through reported ownership to Azerbaijan's ruling family, and they kept the cargo. They didn't say what they were doing. They didn't need to. The people who needed to understand the action understood it instantly. So this didn't escalate into anything beyond what it is. It exposed something on the quiet to those it needed drawing attention to. It exposed the fragility of a supply chain that most governments prefer not to talk about, and indeed are not doing so. And because the story never reaches the public in its proper form, as I've just laid it out here, it sits there as a quiet demonstration rather than a headline. Of course, they can put something in the paper about Iran being the boogeyman again, I guess, can't they?